So, we are good. 3, 2, 1.
Hi everyone, happy New Year's Eve. Thanks for joining us for a few minutes today. I'm Bree.
I'm Cherisa, and we're here live at REMAX here in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Yeah.
So we're going to be talking a little bit about, obviously, the new year, some goals. But first off, we just want to invite you guys on and comment below where you guys are coming in from. What are your plans for New Year's? Don't forget to ask questions along the way. And we're here to chat and just, answer anything. But also, really just the two of us are just going to talk a little bit about some goals and, some reflection a little bit.
Reflect on 25 and see how we could be successful in 26, what we can do to set ourselves up for that. So,
yeah, first off, what are you doing tonight?
We're going to be pretty low key. We're just going to a friend's house and we're going to celebrate Eastern time New Year's.
Oh, I like the count, the fish at 10.
Yep.
Going early.
Yep. How about you?
We are going to go to dinner with my mom and dad and my niece, and we really don't have plans after that. And dinner plans start at 6:30, so we might be doing the countdown the same time.
Yeah, that's the best way.
But let's just jump right into it. So I would love to kind of think about our 2025 year as real estate agents here in Cheyenne, and I just have a couple questions right off the bat of, what's your 2025 look like? What is some things that maybe we could discuss right off the bat?
Yeah, so 2025, as far as real estate goes, was really great to me. I had a lot of really eager clients, and it was a lot of fun. I learned a ton. Some things went great, others not so great, but we pivoted and we got through it all. Specifically thinking of like a transaction that I experienced this year that was a challenge and new for me. We were getting ready to close. We were like a week out, and all of a sudden my clients, the lender couldn't come through for them. And so we kind of had to pivot and go a different direction. And I referred, my people to another lender, and we were able to still close on time. And so it worked out. But I think the biggest thing for me is just, expect the unexpected, be ready, be on your toes, and just to be able to do what's best for your client, even though sometimes, it might feel, I don't know,
rushed,
scared,
or,
scary. I don't know, am I doing the right thing? But I just think as long as, putting our clients first and doing what's best for them ultimately is the best answer. So
I agree. I think as I reflect back on this is my second full year in real estate. And so when I look back at my real estate career, I feel so blessed. I'm so thankful. Yes. I'm beyond blessed in the fact that I've had so many new transactions that people referred. And I think that's our biggest thing is we go off of referrals.
Yeah.
And how do we do that is we reflect.
Right.
And we look back at our previous transaction, who we worked with before.
Yes.
And my biggest question is, how can I always make it better?
Right.
And
there's always room for it.
Always.
Yeah.
And I think in the world of real estate, there's so many different moving parts.
Right.
I think that's why I love it so much. You never know what's going to happen, but
you're not bored.
You're not bored. I also think that you never know who's going to call you.
Yeah.
And one phone call could lead into years of friendship and years of working real estate or 30-day close. And so I think that has really taught me this year is to, one, answer your phone.
Definitely.
And two, that not to be afraid to ask, like, how can I help you? That's how we look. I truly look at real estate is I'm here to help solve some problems, and I have the answers. Not all of them, but I have some answers. I have some amazing people that I can work with to get some stuff done. And so I think that has taught me a lot. I remember the awesome hailstorm that we had that destroyed so many roofs, so many cars, so many things. But it also gave us so many opportunities to be able to connect with so many individuals in our community.
Right.
And so I was closing on a house in a week, it's 5-ish days, and she was 96, and she hasn't had a roof replaced. It was her ever, other than one other hailstorm. She had some repairs.
Yeah.
So it was a big deal to get this. And so we were able to get it done within a week. We were able to take care of it. We closed on time.
Wow.
She was able to move back to where her family is. And to just see her reaction was so cool because she was, she
was pretty scared. She didn't know what to expect. This hailstorm comes.
And you think about 96, but also think about we as real estate agents are like, oh, hailstorm, looks like we're going to have to go through some roofs. Let's move this. Let's, gutters. And when you think about, she was faced with so many different things that she's never had to face. And so that was really nice that I was able to step in and help her with that. And I think that was truly one of my favorite transactions.
Definitely.
And it taught me so much. So
that
was
just
fun.
Being able to reach out to people and the community kind of comes together, especially, and I've really realized that in my real estate career so far. It's really amazing about how small this town actually is, and you don't really realize
Yes.
Everybody knows everybody, everything, somebody's got a guy. So
yes,
yeah,
handyman, you got it. You got a gutter guy, a window guy. I mean, I think that's the best thing is when we think about reflecting in 2025 is I love to be able to just tell the people I love and who I'm thankful for. And so that is my biggest thing is I sent a couple texts this morning, a couple emails, and just saying hey, you made my life so much easier and so thankful for just picking up a phone and just really making my real estate career what it is today. So I'm thankful for them. Yes. So, but anything else, let's kind of reflect a little bit. I want to talk about houses today. So as of right now, we're sitting at what's sitting at for 2025. What is sold? How many houses on the market? What's that look like for us?
So we're about 18, 15, I think was the last number that I saw this morning. So we've closed 1,815 houses in 2025. So compared to 24, which was I think 17.
Yeah, 1781.
1781.
So the question is what's real estate doing? And I love it when I say numbers talk. And so closing that's very similar, but we are ahead a little bit is real estate's always moving right now. And so I truly believe when we reflect and I have those conversations with my clients, should we buy now? Should we sell now? I'm not in the position to tell you what that looks like for you. I want to make sure that it's the best decision for you. I will give you every opportunity to ask me questions. I will give you the resources, what our market looks like. I will show the houses. I will show you what your house will be worth. But that is 100% your decision. I'm here to just guide you and help solve problems along the way.
Yeah. And I think 2025 was weird for everybody. I think everybody was just waiting for somebody to make a move. We're waiting for interest rates to go down. We're waiting to see if anything else pops on the market. We're waiting. And so it was just this weird
who's going to do it first?
Who's going to do it first? Who's going to be the one to, And I think the people that totally dove into it had a lot of success. And people that wanted to sell their house were able to. Buyers were able to jump in where they needed to be. And, I think moving forward in 26, it's going to look very similar. So
I think so too. And I think the biggest thing is that everyone's wanting an answer.
Right.
That's where I'm
I want answers too, but
I'm and everyone wants an answer of when should we buy or when should we sell? And the answer doesn't come out of a hat. It really comes from what your needs are. Is your family growing? Do we need a bigger house? Do you wake up in the morning and you're like, man, I don't love my kitchen, or I want a bigger backyard, or
I'm ready to downsize.
I need a smaller house.
Yeah.
And so I think those are the answers that you got to listen to. And I think that's where my question is do you feel like sometimes people don't close out the year without opening a new year?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm guilty of doing it myself. I don't really reflect so much on the past year as I'm getting ready to move forward. But I think it's really important because how do you be successful going into the new year without reflecting on what's happened this past year?
Absolutely. I think that personally, I think that in real estate.
Absolutely.
I think that with my children.
Yeah.
How can I be a better mom and a better wife? And I think that's our biggest thing is my only suggestion was if you want to move, if you want a house, is we got to close out 2025.
Right.
And how do we do that? What's that look like?
Yeah.
And what can we do as real estate agents to help you get into a house for 2026?
Yeah.
So,
and maybe you thought about selling your house in 25. Maybe you thought about buying something different, moving out to the county. something like that, but maybe your finances weren't in order. Or maybe you're waiting for the interest rate to drop. Or there's so many
moving parts.
So many moving parts. And so I just invite you to, if that's even a thought in your brain, even in 25 or now, take these next few days to really think about what you want to do in 26 moving forward. If you really are considering selling or buying, what does that look like for you? So
I think my question is, where would you start? I think that is a lot of, I had the chance of working with probably, I think the number was 7 this year of first time home buyers. And that was so amazing to have the start to the finish.
Yeah.
And so my question would be to you is, where would you start and how would you get in the ball moving? Yeah. And so what would your answer be to that?
Yeah. Well, reach out to a realtor, first of all. We aren't here to push. We're not here to give you any pressure. Mostly just help guide you through it. What are your goals? What are you looking for? Okay, let's start there. And then, maybe you need to talk to a lender first and see what you're qualifying for, what you're comfortable with, what that looks like. And then kind of go from there. If you're a current homeowner, what needs to be done to your house to get your house sold quickly and for a good price?
I think too is it's so intimidating when the fact that you're saying, I'm ready to move, I'm ready to buy. Yeah. And so taking it step by step it could be as easy as having a coffee with a real estate agent and just saying, can I just ask 10,000 questions?
Yeah.
Do you have a lender that you trust or We each have a couple that I know that I'll be like, give this one a call or, call this one. Whoever answers the phone first, move forward on that. My biggest thing is, don't be afraid to ask the questions. Agreed. Ask the right questions of, can I even buy? Is it smart for me right now? What would my payment look like? And those are big things of what's an average house in Cheyenne run. I mean, there's so many of those questions that we're there to help you with.
Yeah, so absolutely.
Now we kind of wrap up a little bit of 2025. I would love to kind of talk a little bit about some 2026 goals and kind of how you kind of set yourself up for coming into this new year. So right off the bat, my question is what do you think 2026, and we touch a little bit of that, but real estate looks like? What's that look like for us and the future of, in real estate?
So, like I mentioned, I'm kind of the opinion that I think things are going to stay pretty steady. I think interest rates are probably going to stay around the same. They might drop a little here or there, but I think for the most part, people are waiting for this huge drop in the interest rates. And, my rebuttal to that a little bit is, okay, interest rates drop, but then house prices are going to go up.
Yes.
So,
where do you want to pay?
Right.
And where, I love the saying, fall in love with a house and date the rate. And so I think the biggest thing too is if you fall in love with a house, the cool chance of right now, if you have a house to sell, the contingency is a really sticky, it's hard in Cheyenne sometimes. And it's not because houses are flying off the market. It's because when you go to buy a house and put a contingent offer, you have to get your house sold within a certain amount before that house comes under, correct?
Yeah.
And so I think right now is the great time to have a contingent offer come through because the option is that, you still have time to be able to negotiate that. Now, when the market speeds up and spring happens and life kind of gets rolling, what's that look like for the contingent offer buyers?
Usually not as great as it does in January, February. I'm a huge advocate of having your house listed in January, February area just because buyers are actually looking. You have very, real...
They're no lucky-loos. Let's just they're not the one
they're
that's
ready to get the job done.
Yeah.
And so, springtime comes around and people kind of hem and haw, or summer or whatever else, but like if people are looking at your house in January, they're probably pretty serious.
Absolutely.
So
it's the same as December. I mean,
definitely.
You know, when we're moving through these months, and I think that right off the bat is, what's this look like for our clients? And I think the biggest question I can ask them is, how bad do you want to move? How bad do you want a new house? How bad do you want to sell your house? And I think that is always led with another question is, how can I help you? Is more of, I can answer any question out the bat. I can give you a ton of information, but until you are ready to jump and have that done, I think the biggest thing is I'm here to kind of guide you.
Exactly.
And that's kind of what our kind of fun is. Well, anything else that maybe goals and stuff that you questions or anything that you might run into for 2026?
As far as buyers go?
Yeah,
or just
buyers and sellers. I think, you know, I know we touched base on getting someone into it, but what about sellers? How do we help a seller get their house ready for?
Yeah, I mean, I think for one, just it's all the same kind of talk that we've talked about the last several weeks and months that we've been doing these lives is, you know, make sure you're maintaining your home, make sure that you're keeping up on things. If there's projects that are left undone, finish that stuff.
Finish them, please.
Just finish them. And you're going to put yourself in a way better situation now. If you're thinking about that stuff now, doing it now, packing some stuff away that you know that you're not going to need in the next, 6 months or whatever. But I think just being prepared is going to set sellers up for success.
I agree. I think too is, I think about coming into 2026 and just a new year. I decluttered my entire house for the last week.
And it feels so good.
Oh, it feels so good. I rearranged all the furniture. I moved my kids' beds around. I shampooed carpets. And everyone's like, is it a spring cleaning? It is a new year cleaning. And that's just been my mindset. My mom has done it. I have done it. And so that's just something that makes my life easier coming into the new year.
Yeah, it makes you feel better.
Yes. Yeah. I get new rugs, change all the light bulbs, just those little touches. So kind of going into that, I think about maintenance and things that to do tonight, this week, just to, you know, get your house, let's say, maintenance ready. What would that look like?
A furnace and air conditioning service, like maintenance, all that stuff. Smoke alarm, smoke detectors.
Don't you love those when they go off at 3 a.m. in the morning?
They're like, we had one the other night, and it was at the tallest part of our ceiling. So
you're like, wake up! It's 3 a.m.
Everybody's up. Dogs are up.
Eliminate that and check your all your stuff in the house. Anything with a battery, just change it out. I also think about safety and security, and the reason I think that, like, changing passwords, I feel like there's so much fraud going on in the world.
Oh, good point. I've never really thought about that.
And so I think about every password. I don't know. I just always have like done like a year
new year,
stuff.
new password.
Yeah, a new year, new password. But then you have to remember it, and that's the worst.
Yeah.
And so I really suggest that like maybe go through your emails, your work emails, your anything that has a password. I changed my Wi-Fi. I know that might be weird, but I changed my Wi-Fi. And I think that just touching base on those little things of just whole new reset is having that mentality is keeping everything safe and secure. Just think of anything that has the password, change it.
Right. Oh, that's a good point. I've never thought about that. Thank you, Chris.
Last I think about is decluttering and donating items. Where would you think about for 2026 some good places that we can donate items to? That maybe it's, you know, dishes, and where does that look like?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm a big one of needs. Like, I
too.
take stuff there. I know there's a couple other organizations around town that
do.
Chris, you're gonna ask me that, and I can't even think about.
I think about like just dropping off at Goodwill and having that, but I also think too is like maybe you have someone, and so everyone has a social media outlet, and so I think before you just donate, snap a picture and put it up there and say, do you know of someone? Because
who's in need?
Yeah, who's in need, and I can free, or I think about definitely with like decluttering and taking blankets, you know, pillows, pillowcases, those little things really go a long ways. And so if you could donate something and just give it, absolutely. So just thinking about when you're thinking about decluttering for 2025 and getting to the new year of 2026, really shifting that and having that change is a great little donation as well too.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Well, I think we're kind of finishing up, but before I have a couple questions is, What does new keys truly mean to you, Bri?
New keys. Wow. New keys means new opportunity, really. I mean, for me specifically, and I think probably for a lot of people, new opportunity to change some things, maybe start over if you need to.
I like it. I think like new car, new house, but I also think about like my niece is just turned 21 and she has her own place now. And I just think about like a whole new start. Like I used to have looked at her as this sweet little baby, and she's 21 and she's not this sweet little baby. But I think about like she's in her own house. So new keys also means like, you know, new rugs, new era. New buyers, new sellers. And I think that along the way is maybe, you know, if you have anyone in your life that is looking to maybe sell a house or buy a house, refer them to a good, an agent that's going to ask the right questions. Yeah. In 2026, maybe you have the questions. Get a coffee with an agent, talk it over. I
know so many people that are more than willing to just sit down and chat. So, you know, no commitment, no pressure, no nothing. Like, just have a conversation and ask the questions that you want to ask. And
yeah, and I think too is if you're looking to sell or buy in 2026, is just set your goals, write them out, and really go after what that looks like. If that's your finances, if that is your, you know, getting a different job, if that is moving to a new state or closer to family, is set those goals and really chase after that. Because as agents, that is our biggest thing, is we are your biggest cheerleaders. And I know that if you have any questions along the way, just ask one of us. We'll love to help you with that for sure.
Yeah, reach out anytime when you're ready.
So, again, we are Cherisa. I'm Cherisa.
I'm Bri.
And we want to thank you again for joining us live at REMAX today.
Happy New Year!